Hello, everyone, and welcome back. If you drive a car, truck, or motorbike anywhere in the country, you need to stop what you're doing and pay very close attention. We have just received official confirmation of a sweeping set of new driving regulations that will fundamentally change the rules of the road. These aren't minor tweaks or suggestions. They are enforceable nationwide laws set to take effect in February 2026. That's just under 2 years from now, but the clock is ticking and the impact will be massive. For the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to break down exactly what these new rules are, why they're being implemented, and most importantly, what you need to do to prepare. We'll be covering 5 major areas of change. Some of these rules are a direct response to evolving technology. Others aim to tackle persistent problems like road safety and environmental impact. I can almost guarantee that at least one, if not several, of these new rules will apply directly to you and how you drive every single day. So, let's not waste any time. We're starting with what is potentially the most controversial and talked about change: the nationwide standardization of the digital driving license and mandatory in-car connectivity. Rule number 1 signals the definitive end of the physical plastic driving license as your primary document. Starting February 1st, 2026, all drivers must have their valid, government-issued digital driving license, DDL, accessible via the official National Drive Sync app when operating a vehicle. You will still be issued a physical card, but it will be considered a backup. During a traffic stop, the first thing an officer will ask for is your phone and your DDL QR code. Now, this is more than just a digital copy. The DDL is live. It's connected to central databases. It will show real-time status. Is your license valid? Are there any new endorsements or points added since you last checked? Is your vehicle registration linked and up to date? Is your mandatory annual eye test certificate, which we'll get to in Rule 3, current? All of this in one scan. But here's where it gets more significant: mandatory in-car connectivity. All new passenger vehicles manufactured after July 2025 must be equipped with a standardized, secure data port, dubbed the Road Link interface. This isn't just for diagnostics. When you connect your phone with the DriveSync app, which will be a required step to start the vehicle for models from 2026 onward, a limited encrypted data handshake occurs. Your car will verify that the person who owns the phone and the DDL is the one driving. It will check for license validity. It will not track your location in real time for general policing. That's been a major point of legal contention. But it will log driving session data. This includes the time the vehicle was driven, and crucially, it will record verifiable data in the immediate seconds before a serious incident or a triggered airbag. Think of it as a simplified, universal black box. For existing cars, aftermarket certified RoadLink adapters will be available. They'll plug into your OBD2 port. There will be a phased rollout. By 2028, any vehicle on the road must have this connectivity, either native or via an adapter, to pass its annual safety inspection. The why? Governments cite a trifecta of reasons. First, eliminating fraud. No more borrowing a friend's license that looks vaguely like you. The app will use a one-time biometric check, either facial recognition via your phone or a fingerprint to activate the driving mode. Second, streamlined enforcement. An officer can verify everything instantly. Third, and most importantly for them, data for safety. Having a nationwide, standardized dataset from crashes will help engineers design safer roads and cars far more effectively than current fragmented reports. What you need to do? Download the official DriveSync app when it launches in mid-2025. Do not use third-party imitators. Go through the rigorous identity verification process to activate your digital driving license. For new car purchases, ensure the vehicle has the Road Link Ready certification. For your current car, budget for a certified adapter in 2026 or 2027. Start researching trusted brands now. Rule number 2 moves us away from the static metal sign bolted to a post. Welcome to the era of dynamic speed limits and enforced geofenced zones. The concept of variable speed limits already exists on some smart motorways. This rule expands that concept exponentially and hardwires it into law. Digital speed limit signs will become the primary authority in urban corridors, near schools, in construction zones, and on highways susceptible to congestion or weather events. These signs can and will change remotely based on time of day, traffic density, weather, or nearby incidents. The sign saying 50 miles per hour at 2 p.m. might say 35 miles per hour at 8:30 a.m. Here's the critical legal shift. Your vehicle's mandatory connectivity from Rule 1 will receive these updates in real time. Your dashboard display will show the current legal limit, not just the one you memorized. If you are caught exceeding the speed displayed on your in-car system, which matches the digital sign, you cannot argue you didn't see the sign change. The system logs the limit in effect at the time of the offense. Now, combine this with geo-fenced zones. Local authorities will be able to designate and digitally map zones with special rules. The most common will be zero-emission zones in city centers. When your connected vehicle enters this geofence, it will be automatically identified as petrol, diesel, hybrid, or electric. If you are in a non-compliant vehicle, you will be fined automatically, with no need for camera recognition. The system knows because your car told it. Other geofences could include low noise zones in residential areas at night, where exceeding a certain engine RPM or speed limit triggers a fine. School safety zones with a strictly enforced 15 mile per hour limit that is only active on school days during 7 to 9 a.m. and 2 to 4 p.m. High accident correlation zones, where the tolerance for speeding is halved. Go 5 miles per hour in such a zone, and you get a ticket where elsewhere you might have gotten a warning. The why? This is about granular, responsive control. The argument is that fixed limits are a blunt instrument. Why should a wide, empty road near a school at midnight have the same 20 mile per hour limit as when children are crossing at 3 p.m.? This system aims to tailor the limit to the actual, real-time risk, improving both safety and traffic flow. The geofencing is a powerful tool for rapidly implementing clean air policies without massive physical infrastructure. What you need to do? Break the habit of remembered limits. Get used to checking the digital signs or your dashboard for the active limit. Understand your vehicle's classification. Know if you'll be charged for entering a zero-emission zone. Plan your routes proactively. Apps will integrate these geofences. A route that avoids a zero-emission zone might become faster and cheaper than driving straight through it and incurring a daily charge. Rule number 3 is a direct challenge to the once and for life aspect of a license. Gone are the days of getting your license at 17 and never having to prove you're still fit to drive until you're 70. The new system introduces mandatory biannual, every 2 years, competency and eye health reviews. This does not mean a full in-person driving test every 2 years. For the vast majority of drivers, it will be largely a digital process, but it is mandatory, and failure to comply results in the automatic suspension of your digital driving license. Here's how it works. Part A, the Cognitive and Rules Review. Every 24 months, you will receive a notification in your DriveSync app. You will be required to complete a 20-minute multiple-choice module. This isn't a trick test, it's a refresh. It will cover updates to the highway code, like these new rules, and present video-based hazard perception clips to test your reaction and judgment. You can take it at home on your tablet. You must pass with an 80% score. You can retake it immediately if you fail, but a pattern of failures could trigger a mandatory in-person assessment. Part B is the compulsory eye health certificate. This is the more significant physical requirement. Every 2 years, you must have an eye test conducted by a registered optometrist. They will not just test your acuity, like reading the bottom line, but also assess your field of vision and contrast sensitivity, key factors for night driving.
Upon passing, the optometrist will upload a digitally signed certificate directly to the National Driver Database. Your DriveSync app will update to show iCert valid until date. Your car's connectivity system will check for this. If your certificate is expired, your DDL will show as provisional, and when you connect to start your car, you will receive a severe warning that you are driving illegally. Continued driving will result in major fines and instant license suspension. The why? The statistics are clear. Degraded driving skills and deteriorating health, especially eyesight, are major but unaddressed factors in accidents, especially among older drivers. The government stance is that driving is a privilege that requires ongoing minimal competency. The current system catches problems far too late, often only after a crash has occurred. This is a proactive, preventative measure. It also ensures every driver on the road is at least vaguely aware of major rule changes, unlike the current system where
Someone might be driving based on rules they learned 40 years ago. What you need to do? Diarize it. In 2026, note your driver review month. It will likely be based on your birth month. Budget for it. While the digital module is free, the mandated eye test may not be fully covered by all health plans. Factor this as a new biannual cost of driving. Take it seriously. Treat the online module like a real test. It's not a nuisance, it's a legal requirement to maintain your license. Rule number 4 shifts a significant portion of responsibility for safety from the human outside the car to the technology inside it. This rule establishes universal, safe system standards for all new vehicles, specifically designed to protect pedestrians, cyclists, and other vulnerable road users. This isn't just encouraging car makers to include safety tech, it's a legal mandate that any new car homologated for sale after February 2026 must have the following systems as standard, and they must be always active and non-defeatable. Intelligent Speed Assistance, ISA. We mentioned dynamic limits. ISA uses GPS and camera recognition to know the speed limit. It will first provide gentle haptic feedback through the accelerator pedal. It pushes back. If you continue to press and exceed the limit, it will emit an audible warning. It does not automatically brake for you, but it makes exceeding the limit a conscious physical effort. Acoustic Vehicle Alerting Systems, AVAS, for EVs and hybrids. All quiet vehicles must emit an artificial, standardized sound at speeds below 20 miles per hour and when reversing. This is to alert blind or distracted pedestrians. Mandatory direct vision and sensor systems. This has 2 parts. Direct vision, for larger vehicles like SUVs, vans, and trucks, there are new standards for the size of glass and the angle of A-pillars to reduce blind spots directly around the vehicle. Universal Sensor Suite. All new cars must have a 360-degree sensor array, sonar, radar, cameras, that is always scanning for vulnerable road users. This system enables automated emergency maneuvering, AEM. This is the big one. If the system detects an imminent collision with a pedestrian or cyclist and the driver has not taken evasive action, it will automatically execute a last-ditch maneuver. This could be emergency braking combined with a slight, controlled steering input to swerve within the lane if space allows. The car is legally empowered to make this split-second decision to avoid a person, even if it means a side swipe with another vehicle or a curb strike. The logic is that a collision with a protected vehicle occupant is preferable to a collision with an unprotected person. The why? This is the safe system philosophy made law. It acknowledges human error is inevitable, so the system, the car, the road design, must be designed to forgive that error and prevent fatal outcomes. The focus on protecting those outside the vehicle marks a profound ethical shift in automotive regulation. It says the safety of the person on the bicycle is as much the car manufacturer's responsibility as the safety of the person in the driver's seat. What you need to do? If you're buying a new car after 2026,
Understand these systems. Test drive the ISA to feel the pedal feedback. Don't be alarmed by the AVAS sound, it's supposed to be there. As a driver, your responsibility evolves. You must trust these systems and not fight them. Overriding the ISA by flooring the pedal will be considered aggressive driving. The AEM will be startling when it activates, but you must not instinctively wrestle against the steering input in that moment. As a pedestrian or cyclist, do not become complacent. This technology is a last resort. It is not perfect, especially in poor weather. The legal onus may be shifting, but the physical risk never changes. Rule number 5 is arguably the most invasive and, for the insurance industry, the most transformative. This establishes the framework for a national driver score and a mandatory standardized data sharing protocol with insurance providers. Let's be clear. This is not a government social credit score for driving. The government will not score you. Instead, the law mandates that your vehicle's connected systems, via that road link interface, collect a standardized set of non-identifiable trip data. This data is then used to generate a driver score by licensed, regulated third-party companies. You, as the driver, will have access to your own score through your DriveSync app. What's being measured? It's not just speeding. The algorithm will look for patterns of risky behavior. Harsh event frequency. How often do you trigger hard braking, rapid acceleration, or aggressive cornering events? Temporal risk. How much of your driving is between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m., statistically higher risk hours? Consistency. Do you maintain safe following distances? Do you fluctuate your speed erratically? Infraction correlation. Do your driving patterns match the conditions of any fines you've received? Example, frequent harsh braking in zones known for sudden stops. Now, here's the insurance mandate. When you apply for or renew a car insurance policy, you must consent to share your anonymized driver score and the underlying aggregated trip data with the insurer. They cannot force you to install a separate black box. Your car is now the box. In return, insurers are legally required to offer substantial, personalized discounts based on your score. A safe, consistent driver with a score over 90 could see premiums 30 to 40% lower than the base rate. Conversely, a poor score will lead to significantly higher premiums. Opting out. You can opt out of sharing data for insurance purposes. However, if you do, you will be placed in the highest possible risk pool and pay a premium that could be double or triple the standard rate. Effectively, there is no financial opt-out. The why? The government and insurers argue the current system is unfair. A 25-year-old pays more than a risky 55-year-old simply due to age. This moves towards true behavior-based risk assessment. The goal is to create a powerful financial incentive for safe driving every single trip, not just when you see a police car. It turns your right foot and your steering wheel into direct levers controlling your finances. What you need to do? Embrace transparency. Your driving is now quantifiable. Regularly check your driver score in the app. Understand what factors are pulling it down. Change your driving habits. Smooth is fast and cheap. Anticipate stops to avoid harsh braking. Leave earlier to avoid rushing. Shop around at renewal. Your score is portable. Use it to get the best possible insurance rate from any provider. So let's recap the 5 new rules that will redefine driving from February 2026. The digital driving license and mandatory in-car connectivity, dynamic speed limits and geofenced zones, biennial competency and eye health reviews, universal safe system standards to protect pedestrians and cyclists, the driver score and insurance mandate. Taken together, this isn't just an update to the rulebook. This is a systemic transformation. The car is no longer a private analog bubble. It is becoming a connected, communicating node in a larger network. The license is no longer a static card, but a dynamic, living credential. The responsibility for safety is being shared, sometimes forcibly, between the driver, the car manufacturer, and the road operator. There will be fierce debates about privacy, about government overreach, about the cost of implementation, and about personal freedom. Those debates are vital, and they will play out in the months leading to 2026. But for now, your task is to become informed. Don't let February 2026 arrive as a shock. Understand these changes, plan for them, adjust your mindset and your habits, because whether we agree with them or not, these rules are coming, and they will change how every single one of us experience the road. What are your thoughts on these new rules? Which one do you think will have the biggest impact, positive or negative? Let's have that conversation in the comments below. If you found this deep dive helpful, please give this video a like, it really supports the channel, and subscribe and hit the notification bell because as more details on these regulations emerge, I'll be here to break them down for you. Thank you so much for watching. Drive safely, and I'll see you in the next one.